that one. And God has really been putting a burden on my spirit, really putting a burden on my spirit for us to be mindful of the kingdom objective. Mm-hmm. Our kingdom objective. And that is to get that one.
Yes.
To get that one. And we can't lose sight of what we're here for. Amen. And what we're supposed to be doing, and whatever method it means by which you do it is what it is. But the objective has to be clear. So we're gonna look at Acts chapter 10. We're going to start at verse 9. I'm not going to read it all to you because the story the text I really want to take is 9 through 48, and I know that will be brutal to some of your ears to hear that many verses in succession. But I want to give you a synopsis of this story. But as we begin to engage in and really, some of us, more of us, have to become consumed with what our mission is in this earth, what our kingdom mission is on this earth. Not your individual mission, but consumed with and engaged in with God what our kingdom mission is in this earth. And we can't allow, and so often we do allow, but we've got to be more conscious of not allowing religion and tradition and politics and nationality and anything like that to distract us.
That's right.
Because we're being distracted by all these things that are around us, and we're so focused on the things or the vehicle by which those things come, we're not cognizant of the fact that it's nothing more than the devil trying to distract us from our kingdom mission in the earth.
Yeah. Amen.
Right? And what is that? It is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Right? That's our true purpose, to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Why? So that somebody that's blind might be able to see. So that somebody that's hurting might be healed. Somebody that's broken might be made whole. And ultimately, so that somebody who is lost will be found.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. And that's a luxury we now enjoy, right? We're saved.
Yes.
We're born again. And although life sometimes deals us blows, when we're hurting, we know we can be healed.
Amen.
Right? When we're broken, we know we can be made whole.
Amen.
When we can't see and we don't understand, we can expect and ask our Father to show us, open up our understanding. And that's a privilege we now enjoy. But there's somebody else who is not enjoying that privilege.
Come on, Bishop.
And so we got to be cognizant about that. And so I'm finding myself more and more irritated, if you want me to be truthful.
Come on.
I'm finding myself more and more irritated with things that are simply meant to distract me. And I don't want to be consumed with those things. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Doesn't mean I don't have to deal with some of those things, but I don't want to be consumed with that. I don't want to be consumed with something that is of no consequence to my real mission, to my real purpose. Right? There's people that are hurting and don't know that they can be healed.
That's right.
There are people that are proverbially chasing their tail, just as lost as they can be, with no direction. People that are absolutely, totally, and completely broken and don't know how to get back up.
Come on.
So we got to be cognizant about the things we spend our time thinking about, and the things we spend our time talking about, and what we spend our time focused on. We need to be consumed with our kingdom mission. That's what we need to be consumed with. What am I doing here in this earth? I'm supposed to be spreading the gospel.
Amen.
Not spreading the garbage or spreading the gossip or spreading that which is of no consequence to my spirit. I'm supposed to be finding out, pursuing that person that is running from God, thinking they can make it without him, trying to spend my life telling him that they can't.
Amen.
I need to be pursuing that one who has put their faith in something other than Jesus, thinking that they're going to be saved, knowing that they can't.
Come on.
You see? I need to go after that one who's so homiletically educated that all they want to do is debate Scripture and still cannot win anybody around them.
Come on, Bishop.
And you got to want the same thing.
Amen.
We are walking past people, and we don't even know it. They need us.
Amen.
We're working with people and can't even recognize it, that they need us. We're fighting with people that simply need us. And we can't discern it because we're filled with so much stuff. We're so distracted. And if you look at the distractions, all you're going to see is division. You see? So I personally don't like to be told what I already know. We are missing people who need us to not miss them.
Amen.
Come on.
What if somebody would have been distracted when God sent them after you?
My Lord.
Ooh.
What if they would have been all self-consumed and all personally driven and motivated when God sent them after you? Where would you be right now?
Come on.
My Lord.
When you think about when you go to the gas station, and there's a lot of reasons to go to the gas station. Because gas stations sell food, and they sell beverages, and they sell all kinds of stuff. You can call ahead and order your food from the gas station. You can get a gas station app and download it and get points and get free goodies from the gas station. But the overall objective of the gas station, and don't let me leave out, you can play your lottery numbers at the gas station. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying they need their own line. A lot of players need their own line. That's all I'm saying. And if you want, you know I'm right. So don't be mad. I'm advocating for you to get your own line. I'm trying to help you. See? So, but when you go to the gas station, your ultimate objective is to fill up your tank. Right? And for what express purpose? Fill up your tank so you can do what?
Get going.
Keep going. All out loud like Bible study.
Get going.
Keep going.
Go where we need to go.
Go where you need to go.
Get where we need to be.
Travel.
Reach where we need to reach.
Yeah. All of the above. Right? But when you fill up your tank, it is to get you to your next destination.
That's right. That's right.
Right? That's the whole purpose. Right? To get you to the next place. And then to get you to the next place. And then to get you to the next place. And so when you come to church and fill up your tank,
Come on, Bishop.
it is ultimately for the express purpose of getting you to the next place. And getting you to the next place. And getting you to the next place. And every place you go in your car, there's some purpose for you being there. Right? There's some purpose for you going home, and there's some purpose for you stopping at a restaurant, and there's some purpose for you stopping at the convenience store, and there's some purpose for you going wherever your car takes you, right? Because you ultimately make the decision. But wherever you go, there's a purpose. So when you come to church and you get filled up, it is to take you from the next place to the next place to the next place for an express purpose. For an express purpose. See? So when you leave church, you need to be focused on not just what you're going to eat, not just what you're going to wear to work tomorrow, not just what you're going to watch on TV. But what is the purpose of you being filled in your spirit? So that when you get to the next destination, you can do what? When's the last time you just passed by somebody and just said, God bless you? When's the last time you just walked through the grocery store and purposely made eye contact with somebody and just gave them a nice little soft smile?
Amen now.
Right? Focus, man. Laser focus on what matters to us. All the while, we are negating our kingdom mission. Our ultimate purpose, which is to spread the gospel. So in Acts chapter 10, verses 9 through 48, we see something interesting occur here between two men. One of these men is Peter. And Peter, we know, is a Jewish Christian. The other man involved in this story is Cornelius. And Cornelius is a centurion, right? or a Gentile, because he doesn't believe in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And so we find something interesting that's occurring in this story, because these two men normally would not have anything to do with each other, but they both need one another, right? And so there's some of us who have decided, because we are who we are, and for whatever other reason we've decided, there's some people that we can't reach. There's some people we can't meet where they are. And on the other hand, there's some people who've decided the same thing about us, right? There's just as many people cut you off when you declare your Christianity as you cut off. Probably more of the latter. The first. There's probably more people that cut you off when you start screaming Jesus than you cut off. Because that's the one thing we tend to not want to do as believers, is cut people off. But people will cut you off quick. Going to church? That's all right. No thank you. You can't. Some of them you can't even shame into. I'm gonna watch the game. What about going to church? God knows my heart. Go on with all that. It don't take all that. Right? They throw those defenses up. You just a freak. You always overdoing things. That's your problem. Or they remind you of the last time you screwed up, or remember what you were doing last week, so why should we go to church with you? Anything they can defensively to say why they're not going to church. And we lay off because we don't want to offend them, and they don't care about offending us.
That's right.
But the point is, we've got to be consistent.
That's right.
We must pursue those who are not saved.
Come on.
Right? Because somebody pursued us.
That's right.
At the ultimate cost, which was his life, his humiliation, his shame. He was not distracted. His mission was to save you from death and the grave. And that's what he did. And your mission in turn is to save someone else.
That's right.
Snatch them out of the hands of the enemy and bring them into this family, this covenant, so that they can be saved.
Amen.
And so this dynamic occurs. So now, here's the beauty of God, the Father, in his sovereignty.
All right.
So God speaks to Cornelius, and he tells Cornelius, I want you to send some men to a city, at a house, and ask for a man named Simon. He is going to come to you, and I want you to listen to what he has to say. Now, Cornelius could have easily got in the way by saying, I don't fool with those Jews. I call them a Jewish Christian to be technical, but I don't fool with those Jews. That ain't God. Right? Tradition says we don't mess with them.
All right.
But Cornelius needed it. He needed it. Because Cornelius knew God, but he lacked faith in Jesus. And how many of us know you can't have God without Jesus?
All right.
Amen.
There's no other name under heaven by which men can be saved except Jesus. So Cornelius needed this Jew who knew Jesus.
All right.
To do what? Preach the gospel to him so that he might have an opportunity to be saved. Now somewhere on the other side of the world, here's Peter. Goes on top of his roof to pray. He dips off into a trance. And God begins to speak to Peter about the things he's eating, so he thinks. And God begins to tell Peter. And Peter begins to tell God, I wouldn't eat such things because tradition says those things are unclean. They're impure. And I would never defile my body with something that's unclean or impure. That's against the law. well, when the day what we eat causes us to go to hell, we just gonna have to starve to death.
All right.
I got news for you. Ain't nobody going to hell because of what they eat.
Come on now.
Ain't nobody out of the will of God because of what they eat.
Come on now.
Amen.
Now, if your doctor has told you something ain't good for you, exercise common sense.
Come on. Come on.
You know, some things we have to slide away from. You know, but I'm just here to tell you, from the rooter to the tutor,
Come on now.
ain't none of it sending you to hell.
All right.
Right? So as Peter is defending, watch this now, stay with me. As Peter is defending his religion to God, God is telling Peter, you don't even understand what I'm talking about. You see? You don't stand in a place of judgment and say anything I made is unclean.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, God ain't just talking to Peter though.
Come on.
Amen.
God ain't just talking to Peter, man. Because there was a time we was unclean. And Jesus still died for us. There was a time we was unclean. And somebody was still praying for us. Somebody was still pursuing us in all of our dirt, and all of our shame,
Amen.
and all of our iniquity. Somebody kept inviting us to church. Somebody kept believing God that one day we would hear the gospel.
Amen. Amen.
Preach.
Peter all philosophical with God about what he ain't going to eat.
Come on now.
But when God check you, you stand checked.
That's right.
God said, don't call nothing I made unclean. I made everything.
Amen.
But what Peter didn't realize, God wasn't talking about food. Yeah, he was saying, I'm talking about people. And you don't have the right, just because you are a Jew, to call another person that I made unclean. Because when I found you, you were unclean too. But that didn't stop me from pursuing you. It didn't stop me from coming after you. It didn't stop me from loving you. And it certainly didn't stop me from sending my son to die for you. So why don't you, in kind, get off your high horse and go pursue somebody else?
That's right. Glory.
Amen.
Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Thank you, Lord.
So these men come to Peter's house and they knock on Peter's door. And Peter's initial thought was, I'm not going with them. They're not like me. The law says they're unclean. I can't be seen with them. I can't touch them. I can't be in their house. Matter of fact, go to verse 28 for me. Let me tell you in Peter's own words.
Okay.
Then he said to them, you know how unlawful it is for a Jewish man to keep company with or go into one of another nation? You know how unlawful it is? Peter said, this ain't right. But I got news for you. If you don't go to get them, how are we going to get them?
Come on. Come on.
How are we going to get them? He said, but God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean, because we don't have that right. God wasn't talking about no food. God wasn't talking about no pig or no cow or no chickens. As soon as you fall in love with something, somebody's going to tell you something wrong with it.
Ain't that the truth?
As soon as it becomes your favorite, somebody's going to say, you know, too much of that will kill you. God could care less about that. God was talking about people.
Amen.
He was talking about people. He's talking, I need you to be about your kingdom mission. I need you to be about the express purpose of preaching the gospel, so that somebody who says they know me and love me but is rejecting my son and clearly going to hell, if that's the case, you need to tell them about the good news about the gospel. You need to tell them who Jesus really is.
Amen.
Help them understand what he did and what the purpose of it was, and how much I love them as a result. So Peter goes to Cornelius' house and he says, you know, it's unlawful for me to be here. Quite frankly, Cornelius felt the same way. But they both had one thing in common. They both were obeying God.
Yes, yes.
Amen.
God spoke to one and said, send for this one that you don't really kick it with. He said, go get this man and tell him to come see me. God spoke to this one and said, I want you to go to this man who I knew the church says you shouldn't be seen with. But I want you to go to him.
Come on.
And he did. And now you got these two people who ordinarily would not keep company coming together for one express purpose. For one express purpose. So Peter gets there and Cornelius tells him, hey, you know, God, I was praying. This is what Cornelius tells Peter. I was praying and God told me to send for you specifically and that you would come and that we were to listen to what you had to say. So Cornelius had his house full. House party full. Thanksgiving full.
All right.
About the best I can do. Between house party and Thanksgiving. That kind of full. Peter had some people that traveled with him. So Cornelius says, God told me to send for you. God said that you would say something to us and we were to listen. Now, the one thing God didn't tell Peter is what to say. Because Peter already knew what to say. See, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. We got to be careful that we are making the most of our moments. Yes. God ain't asked you to give nobody your opinion. That's not what God asked.
Amen.
See, we don't ever have to pray for the words. We live by it.
Yeah.
Come on.
We live by it. We don't have to pray for the words. We live by the words. God didn't ask somebody to give you your interpretation.
All right.
Amen.
God didn't ask you to tell nobody about what you've been through. About how you feel. Well, I won't go to church either because that ain't not what God asked you to tell nobody. I don't blame you for feeling that way, girl, because that's not what God asked you to say. Pull up verse 42. Let's read a little bit from 42. I think maybe 42 to 48.
All right.
We trying to win people by where we eat. We trying to win people by what we wear.
Amen.
We try to win people by music we listen to. They had that, one of my old jobs had that little going away party for me, and they asked me what kind of music. I told them strategically, Danny Goldie. They said, we don't know that. We don't know that. I said, put it up on the screen. Y'all put on this other little stuff. These other boys that I don't listen to. So pull up Danny Goldie. They pulled up Danny Goldie, and it made sense to them. They said, it all makes sense now. They looked at Danny Goldie, they listened to the music, they looked at me, they said, oh, it's all making sense. And so I was at my new building, and I went to meet with this lady. Her mom was not doing well. I went to meet with her, and we started talking about elevation worship. We started talking about this. I was telling her about this awesome praise experience I had with my wife in our backyard in our tent. I said, we had this awesome praise experience. She said, really? What were you listening to? And I said, it was elevation worship, here as in heaven. She said, oh my God, I love that song. And I realized if God hadn't given me affinity for all different types of music, I would not have had anything else in common with her.
All right.
Amen, Bishop. Amen.
Amen.
She started telling me about the gift that God gave her to interpret dreams, and I let her tell me about that, and we started talking about the gospel.
Amen. Amen.
And as I was leaving the room, she said, hey. And I said, yes, ma'am. On her phone, she had pulled up elevation worship, here as in heaven. And she said, as soon as you walk out, I'm going to play it.
Amen.
Look at God. That's good.
And so I saw her the next day because her mom declined and she was doing worse, and the room was full of people. And I went in to say, oh, I just wanted you to know I'm here for you if you need anything. And she said, hey, that's the guy I was telling you about.
Look at God.
Right? What is my point? My point is, you got to make the most of your moment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All this frivolous talk about things that don't matter. All this talking about what somebody did or what somebody didn't do or what somebody wore or what somebody did, that doesn't matter. When you get an opportunity, you need to be talking about the gospel. You need to be talking about the gospel. Jesus is real.
Yes, he is.
Nick was playing the song this morning. He looked at me. We got this telecommunity relationship. He said, I got you. I got you. I'm going to put it in praise and worship. I said, doggone right you are. I started singing for myself today.
All right.
I did.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
When you sing that song, it's going to take you somewhere.
All right now.
Right? But isn't that what we ought to be sharing with each other?
That's right.
Amen.
Something that'll take you someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Amen.
And it ain't little baby.
Mm.
That surprised me, didn't it? Caught you off guard. I learned about that at my going away party. I shamed him out so bad they couldn't wait to get it off the screen. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into it because I know some of y'all like that too. But I just trying to figure out what grown man calls himself a little baby. I just couldn't get over that first. The music was irrelevant to me. I was just trying to figure out what grown man walks around calling himself a little baby. And I made that point about 5 or 6 times, and then they were happy to turn the screen to something else. Have you ever heard the music? I said, no, I haven't heard the music. I can't get over the fact that a grown man calls himself a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like grown men are grown men. We don't call ourselves little babies.
All right.
That's little boys who do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I move on. That's not to offend anyone. You got 42 up?
Amen.
Let's take it home. So, he says, and he commanded us to preach to the people and to testify that it is he who was ordained by God to be judge of the living and the dead. Keep going. To him all the prophets witness that through his name whoever believes in him will receive remission of sins. We're going all the way to 48. While Peter was still speaking these words, the Holy Spirit fell upon all those who heard the word. Now this is the crux of the matter. And those of the circumcision who believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because the gift of the Holy Spirit had been poured out on the Gentiles also. So Peter and the other Christian believers who came with him to preach the gospel to these Gentiles could not believe that after the Gentiles had received the truth about Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit fell on them and they began to speak in tongues and praise God. And they said, wait a minute, how can this happen? How can these non-believing Gentiles speak in tongues? That's a gift that comes from God. You got to be connected to God. You got to know who God is to be able to speak in tongues. And then God was telling Peter, I do know them. I do love them. I do care about them, and I was not about to let them be left behind.
Amen.
This was a life-changing moment for Peter because Peter was resolved to the church. Peter was resolved to preaching to the believers. But every now and then you got to come out of your comfort zone. Every now and then you can't walk past somebody who you know you feel an urgent to say something to. Every now and then you can't brush somebody else who's reaching out to you just because you don't like their style. Sometimes you got to get over yourself and get about the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
They heard them speak with tongues and magnify God. Then Peter answered and he said, can anyone forbid water to these that they should not be baptized who have received the Holy Spirit just as we have? And they weren't in no church, and they weren't in no line, and they weren't in no seminary, and they weren't playing no game. They were just obedient to God, and out of obedience to God, one man who was never supposed to have any dealing with another man, out of obedience to God, came together, and both men saw the Spirit of God come in that place and fall on those people, and they spoke in tongues, and everybody knew that God cares about even that one.
Amen.
So nobody could say. Then Peter said, who are we to say? Who are we to deny their water baptism after we have seen the power of God fall on them, after we have seen them speak with other tongues? We've got to baptize them. Surely they belong to the Lord just like we do. And the point God was trying to make to Peter was, everybody belongs to me. Some of them just don't know it. So since you do and they don't, what you gonna do about it, Peter?
Come on now, preach.
You're gonna spend your life praying to me for a new job? You're gonna spend your life praying to me for the perfect mate? You're gonna spend your life praying to me for a nice big house? You're gonna spend your life praying to me for good credit? You're gonna spend your life praying to me for a car that won't break down on you? You're gonna spend your life praying to me to lose weight? what in the world is wrong with you?
Preach.
None of those things matter to the Lord God.
Hallelujah.
God can care less where you live. God can care less how you look. God can care less how much money you make. God can care less about your credit score. God cares about you preaching the gospel to those that are lost so they might be saved.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, God.
And how would you feel if the worst of people in your eyes received the gospel outside of church and you saw the Holy Spirit fall on them and they began to speak in tongues and then came to church because you was about your father's business outside of the church. You was in here getting your tank filled up so that when you're at your next destination, you're going to be about the express purpose for which you went.
Amen.
Glory to God. Yes, God.
I don't get to my destination and hang out in the car. I get up, I get out, and I'm getting moving.
Yeah.
I came here for something. If I don't be in the car, I can just sit in the car.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. Get your makeup right before you get there.
Come on. Come on.
You know where you're going. Fix your tie before you get there.
Yeah.
Check yourself before you get there. Don't get to your destination and start stalling because you might miss your moment.
That's right.
Woo. You got one split second to have an impact on somebody's life, and you might miss it because you're messing around.
Amen.
Come on.
Yes, God.
Right?
Preach it.
Man.
You get in your car and go to work. What's your boss look like when to see you sit in the car? I know everybody in the car who work with me. That makes my business so I know who's there when I pull up.
All right.
And I know who's not there when I pull up.
Come on.
My temporary office overlooks the staff parking lot. Oh, the stuff I see. Oh, the stuff I see. And I just wonder, get about your business. Get about the purpose of what you came here for.
Amen.
When I get to my house, I go on in it. I like being in my house.
Amen.
My house like me being there.
All right.
I get on inside. I get on in there. I go to the restaurant because I'm hungry. I'm not going to sit in the car and look at the sign.
Come on.
I get on in there so I can eat. Right?
Amen.
When you leave this church today, you think about where you go. And you think about what your mission is.
Amen.
And you don't have to know it. Just be cognizant of it.
Yes, yes.
Walk with your head up, with your eyes open.
Yes.
Make eye contact.
Yes, yes, yes.
Discern that hurt. How you doing? You know, I come in peace, look. Hey, how are you? Right? Don't be so zoned out just for you and the people around you. Somebody else needs you.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen,
You
Bishop.
can't get them after you get them in the church. You got to get them and then you get them to the church.
All right.
You got to connect with them first. Well, no question about Cornelius and these Gentiles coming to church because now the church was in them. Peter was astonished.
Oh, Lord.
But I can remember a time in the Bible where people were astonished looking at Peter when the Holy Spirit fell on him. They said, these men must be drunk. And Peter was the main one defending it. Oh, we drunk, but it ain't off wine.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, y'all wish y'all had what we got. Now he can't believe. Because you know they ain't Jews. Now he can't believe the same God that fell on him could fall on them. The same God that fell on him could fall on them. And he saw it. And he knew. God cares about everybody.
Yes, he does.
But especially that one. And some of y'all been purposely skipping over some people. Yeah.
All right, Bishop.
No, we're gonna leave that out. Thought you got away unscathed, didn't you?
Come on, Bishop.
Amen. Amen.
Some of y'all have decided who don't deserve the grace of God.
Oh, my God.
Amen.
Come on, Bishop.
You got a chance to get it right today?
Yes.
And that you better do.
Come
You
on.
better go pursue that person like you pursuing something to eat.
Amen.
Like you pursuing your clothes for work tomorrow.
Preach.
That person you know you've been disregarded. That person you know you have pronounced judgment on. That person you know you don't think is worthy. You better make that right.
Amen.
You better make that right.
All right.
Because unfortunately, you came today, and unfortunately, you've heard it too.
Yep.
So now you're accountable to it.
Yes.
Amen.
Peter.
Thank you.
Peter for the wrong reason. Peter for the wrong reason.
Amen.
You better get that right. You better get that right today.
Amen
I'm done.
Thank you.
now. Thank you, Lord
The
Jesus.
burden has got to be about souls.
That's right.